How you doing, everybody? It feels like bloody yonks since I did any cooking whatsoever, even for myself, never mind for the channel. And today I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get back in the saddle and crack on with it. So I'm going to make a my version of bolognese. Now, I don't know if you know, but the secret to a good bolognese is give it time to cook. So we're going to be doing plenty of that today. So I'm just going to go through. You know, we're not posh in this house from Oldham at the end of the day. So I'm just going to go through with the bits and pieces that I use. So the first thing I do, whenever I make a bolognese, I always get a large amount of meat. Now this is 750 grams this. I got this for £3.99 today from Tesco. And it's the 5%. And we're going to get the 15% fat and drain it because, you know, you can save a bit of money. But this was £3.99 and I think the 3% fat was something like £3.89. So I just got this because it's less gristle in it and more meat, I suppose. So you're going to need some mince. Or you can do it with turkey if you want. Or even if you're a vegetarian, you can do it with some soy or... what's it called? Corn. Corn's nice. You're going to need an onion. As much garlic as you want. I'm going to put quite a bit of garlic in. I need a garlic injection, so I'm definitely having a lot of garlic in this. I've said 2 OXO cubes, but I might only use 1 because I've got a lot of meat, so I'm just going to play it by ear and see where we're at with that. You need some tomato puree. In fact, you don't really need tomato puree because you're going to be using some passata. It's whether you want it or not. I don't know. But I think I'm probably going to use this full moon chilli. Put a bit of this in because I like a bit. I know bologneses don't have spice in them, but I quite like a bit of spice in my food, as you've probably come to notice for some of the stuff I've cooked. So I might put a bit of that in. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, you might be wondering why I've got this sweetener here. You can put sugar in or you can use sweetener. The reason behind this is to offset the acidity in the tomatoes, so it just makes for a nicer sauce. But I would urge caution and put a bit in at a time so you don't overwhelm it and then end up with a sweet meal, because, you know, I wouldn't mind that, but a lot of people would. Some salt, and I've got some something on the side there. Some juice off something, I don't friggin' know. And then you're going to need some black pepper. Right, in terms of the pasta, I was going to have these keto skinny noodles. You can get a pack of them. So they're like, it says on here, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. And I think there's something ridiculous. Yeah, look at that, per 100 grams, 9 calories. So I might have them, but then I'm thinking, sod it, I might just go for pasta if I can find any in this cupboard. But this is my cupboard. I've got some raisins there. I've got some self-raising flour. I've got some caster sugar. Later on I'm going to make scones, and I've got some vintage jam, which I'll get into that later on. But yeah, this is my stock cupboard. Look, I've got all my suets there for my puddings and that. Got my porridge for the morning and a few tea bags. Didn't have any bleeding coffee this morning. I had to go to Tesco and get it. Anyway, I don't think we're going to need anything out of here. This is all my Chinese stuff when I do my Chinese stir fries. And then my brown sauce from Asda. I don't think... I should take these vitamins and I never do. It's looking a bit messy in my cupboard actually, but... yeah, I don't actually know where the bloody pasta is. Oh, there's some up there. Can you see it at back? So I might just have some of that, but I wouldn't mind some. Oh, there's some. Look, right, I've got some fantastic. Right, let's get cracking. Right, so we're going to talk and chat today. I've already chopped half of this onion. I'm going to just start chopping everything up now. I was just saying, the camera went funny, but I was just saying I bought a what's it called? Them things you put a camera on, tripod, yeah. I bought a big tripod off Amazon. It's not arrived yet. I was hoping it was going to get here because I was going to do, like, rather than just filming and, you know, me cutting up an onion, I was going to go on camera. Like, with my Oldham ones, I don't tend to do it because obviously you're not watching the channel to see me. You're watching it for Oldham and Barnsley if I do around there. Whatever I do. Wash my hands with that. But yeah, What was I going to say? I'm losing my bloody thread already and I've not even started. You can see I'm rusty, can't you? Yeah, anyhow, that's what I've decided to do. Start going on camera for me video, for me food vids, but not for me oldham ones. So, yeah, anyhow, it's not arrived in time, so we're just sticking with the old format for today. And as usual, it's all bleeding going wrong because it's all falling out all over its side. So, there you go. Right, so chop your onion, then let's chop the garlic. Just 1 second. So yeah, you'll have noticed I've been really quiet on the channel. There's a couple of reasons for that. The main reason is that I've not been in the mood to do much filming, like cooking and stuff. I've not been cooking for weeks. I've just been sort of winging it really, you know, just buying stuff in and that. And the reason for that is a couple of weeks ago I had some really, really bad news. And it knocked me for 6, to be honest. I'll tell you about it because I can talk about it now. I couldn't talk about it a few weeks ago. And everyone's gone through this, so it's not like, you know, it's not unique. But the circumstances probably are a little bit unique, to be fair, on how it all came about. So I used to go to Portugal a lot before the pandemic. I've got a friend over there. He was an ex of mine. We went out together when we were both a lot younger, in our early 20s, back in the early 2000s. And he was a student at Manchester University at the time. Anyhow, it didn't work out as a relationship. It never was going to do because we were both young. And he was always going to go back to Portugal, which is what he ended up doing. But we've always remained friends, always. And, you know, I used to go out there and we were only friends, you know. And he was really one of the best friends I've ever had. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, anyway, I used to go over, and obviously when the pandemic hit, and I've not been over for the last few years, but we've always kept in touch, you know, we're friends. Anyway, I sent him a message just before Christmas on WhatsApp, I think it was December the 3rd, saying, you know, how are you doing? Not heard from you for a while, X, Y, and Z. And he didn't even read the WhatsApp message, and I thought, that's unusual. I thought maybe he's changed his phone number, you know. I mean, you might know where I'm going with this story, but I'll tell it anyway. And I thought maybe, you know, maybe he's just changed his phone number. So I tried ringing the number and it wouldn't connect. So I rang up Tesco Mobile who I'm with, and I said, you know, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to ring this number in Portugal and it keeps throwing me out. And they went, oh yeah, it's not part of your plan because we've left the EU now. I'm just stripping this garlic, by the way, everyone. I'm doing it the hard way. So this fella said, yeah, because we've left the EU, you have to, you know, you have to pay now for a bolt on. I went, right, okay, can I have a bolt on then? So I got this £2.50 bolt on. And I tried to ring him, and this time it rang, right? But then it didn't go to answer machine. It just stopped, and like, it was almost as if I'd rang and been cut off. So I thought, all right, figure then. You know, that's what I thought. I'll be honest. I thought he'd put the phone down on me. Anyway, I sort of left it then, and then obviously Christmas came, and you know, everything else. Anyway, it was a couple of weeks ago. I think about 20th of... Was it about 20th of Jan? Was it in January? Don't know. About 3 weeks ago anyway. I was just going through my Facebook. I mean, some people who follow the channel watch me. I'm just going to chop this garlic up now, by the way, everyone. But some people who watch the channel, you know, they kindly connect with me on Facebook. And people send me messages on Facebook all the time. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty crap at... I'm good at, obviously, doing my comments on YouTube, as you'll have noticed if you've left comments, but the ones that I don't reply to, by the way, get hidden by YouTube and I have to go and look for them. That's why that might take a while. So if I've not replied to your message, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I've not seen it. But anyway, I'll stop waffling. So basically, I was going through my messages on Facebook, and then I flicked down to this woman's name. I won't mention her name, but I flicked down to this name, and it was obviously a Spanish sounding name, you know, or Portuguese sounding name. And clicked onto this message and I had the shock of my life, and she basically just told me that my friend, she says, I'm really sorry to have to tell you this way through Facebook, but to be fair to her, she had no other way of getting in touch with me, only heard my number. But yeah, he'd passed away suddenly on the 11th of November, no, the 10th of November, sorry, last year. So all that time when I was ringing him and texting him and he weren't looking on his WhatsApp, and wasn't looking at it because he hadn't changed his number or he was ignoring me, it was because he passed away. So, and he was only 40, he was younger than me, I think he was probably about 44. And it was sudden, so I'm not going to say what he passed away with, but you know, I'm sure you've got an idea. It wasn't COVID. So yeah, so that happened, and that was shocking. Right, let's get this. So what you can do, you can mix the garlic in with the onion, because it's all going to go in at the same time. Actually, will it go in at the same time? Yeah, it'll go in at the same time. I'll put it in at the same time. Right, so that, really, for this meal, this is all the prep that you're going to do. To be fair, apart from opening up the passata. Did I say you put the passata in? Well, you are. And you want to get the one that's 500 grams. Or you can put bigger in if you want. But with this one, because we're going to put in the oxo cube, we're going to put some water in anyway, so I might just undo that oxo cube actually. Yeah, so anyway, so that happened, and that was awful. And I did a video in between. I don't know if you saw it, I did the Werneth one where I went into Old Platts thing. That were really good, that. And I actually went to Oldham last week to do the Johnsfields video. But when I got there, it was absolutely pouring down. So, you know, that coupled with the fact that I've just had a bit of a terrible shock recently, and then the bloody weather, it's just been hard work, really. Right, I'm going to come back in a minute. I'm going to start cooking. I'm going to have to use the trusted pan again today. I did want to use the other pan, the shallower one, but it's not going to work because there's too much stuff that needs to go in. So let's just get cracking. I need a bit of oil actually. Right, I found the oil. We'll just have a little bit. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that live I did. I don't know if I deleted it. Did I delete it? I think I might have done, but not on purpose, because I do that often. I did a live. Basically, one of my relatives has got a fireplace in their house. Now, they've not got it fitted, it's just the surround. And basically, this fireplace has got monograms on it from the Dronsfield, from James Dronsfield, who had the Dronsfield mansion on Roundthorne Road. Anyway, the same mansion, I mean, I think there's one stood there for like 300 years. I don't know if the Dronsfields had it all of the time, but I know that the one that they had, the one that was stood there in 1910, that was theirs, and that had that fireplace in it. And it's got their monogram on the top. So what we're doing first, by the way, I've just thrown in, sorry, I should have said, I've just thrown the onions and the garlic in onto some olive oil, and that's it, and just keep it moving because you don't want to burn that bloody garlic. I could probably turn it down a bit actually, let them sweat a little bit. So yeah, so anyway, I knew that they had this these fireplace, got two. I knew that they had the fireplace, but I didn't realise that the bloody fireplace had a logo on it. Anyhow, it does, and it's James Dronsfield's fireplace. It must have been from the front room or something. So that prompted me to do a video on the Dronsfields in more detail. I want to go to the graves, I want to go to where the house were. Done that before when I did the Lowe's video, but yeah, I definitely want to do that and just bring the story really. We'll go to Atlas Works, we'll have a look at that, and I've got some absolutely amazing photographs that you will not have seen. I've never seen them, and you know me, I'm always looking for bloody Oldham stuff, so I think you'll really like these photographs that I've got. Right, I'm just going to let these onions sweat down a little bit, and then I'm going to come back when I'm adding the meat, and we'll take it from there. Right, so let's get to the meat. So literally, just sling it in, and then chop it down when you get it in pan. Now, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. So the secret to a good Bologneise is giving it time to cook. And I don't mean like 20 minutes. I mean like give it a couple of hours, which is why I put it in this big pan, because with this big pan I've got the lid. So I can put the lid on and then just literally let it simmer for hours and hours and hours. And I'm probably going to be eating this tonight. Well, when I get hungry probably, but I'm going to try and last out until, I need to turn that heat up. I'm going to last out until at least 7 o'clock, I think. Right, everyone, so this is where we're at. And just while I'm on the subject of just talking random stuff, before we get into the rest of this recipe, I just want to sort of touch on something. I did a live the other night and I talked about personal thing. And the advice that people, I won't go into it again, not talking about it again. But for the people that did watch, and the people that did give advice, and the advice was close the door, that's exactly what I've done. So just thought I'd let you know. I did listen. But so in here now we have onions, garlic, browned 5% fat mince, which means you don't have to drain it, salt, pepper, and now we're going to put the passata in. Shit, it's got all over my cooker. It's got all over. I just remembered there's a secret ingredient that I might put in this. In fact, I definitely think I will put it in, but I'll bring it up when it's relevant to put it in. We won't be doing it yet. It's basically, you know, Parmesan cheese. Cut the end off, the bit that you can never eat, the waxy bit, and melt that into your Bologneise. Superb. Right, so you can see what we're up to now. What we need that bleeding kettle to boil for a kick off. And then what we're going to do then, I'm just going to turn this down a minute. What we're going to do then is we're going to put the beef stock in. Right, let's put some of this in, that chilli thing, just a bit. I'm probably going to regret this. It's an unfortunate noise that then, didn't it? And at this stage I'm going to add some of this low calorie thing, or sugar. I use sweetener me, that's why I'm putting this in. You probably think I'm being disgusting doing that, but trust me, you need some sugar in your Bologneise. It takes the edge off the tomatoes and it makes it for a much nicer meal. Obviously it's got to cook down and infuse and everything, but that's as much as I'm putting in. And I've also decided, just putting some water on this stock, I've decided to use 2 of the beef stock cubes, you know, the oxos. So I'm just going to pour that in. I've just basically filled this thing up, 700 mils, so 2 stock cups, 2 stocks, and 700 mils of water. Let me just give it a bit of a whiz with this knife before I put it in. Just scotching myself. Right, let's pour it in. So obviously this is a lot of fluid, but bear in mind we're going to be cooking it for hours, and it's going to lose, not initially, it won't lose a lot of fluid, but what I'll do is when I'm happy with it, that is a lot of fluid actually, but it definitely will cook off, I said. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cover it. Probably should have put 500 ml of water, but it don't matter. Does it? It'll still be thick and gorgeous by the time I've finished it. So lid's on. I'm going to set timer now on Alexa for an hour. Alexa, timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
And I'll come back when that's done. Right, so we've actually got 17 minutes left on our 1 hour timer. I've just told Alexa to cancel it, and I'm going to lift the lid now and give it a stir and see what we're dealing with. And I think at this point what we're going to do is we're going to add the that bloody Parmesan block thing. So let's have a look. So it's still got a lot of water in, as you can see, but it has gone down quite a bit. So I think, due to I want to cook this for at least another 2 hours. So due to the fact that I'm going to cook it for another 2 hours and then reduce it down, I think we're going to be okay. I want to put some red wine in, but that just means I've got less to drink. so I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to stick with the stock. Right, let's get that parmesan out, because I'm going to chop that end off and then I'll show you what I mean. So you know when you get like parmesan cheese, like the block like that, and you get that end, don't you? It's got like, that's burnt into it, that. It's not, it's branded, so it's not like writing in terms of ink. Excuse me, but this is the bit that you're not able to eat because it's waxy basically, but it is ultimately just cheese. So we're going to throw that in. And what that's going to do over time is that's going to break down, so it's there. That's going to break down into the sauce and just heighten that flavour. So let's put the lid back on and let's give it another hour. Oh well, let's give it an hour this time rather than 40 odd minutes, which is what I gave it before. Anyway, let's have a look. Look, that's still there. It's been in there for like 40 minutes. Not all of it comes, I think I end up taking a bit out, but anyway, you can see how the cheese is changing the colour of the sauce, can't you? And can you see how much the water's reduced down? It was up here, weren't it? So I think what I'm going to do now, I need to taste it. I've not even tasted it. It's quite thick. And it's going to be red hot. Oh my god, that is thick. That is really, wow, that is nice. Right, I'm getting really hungry now. So, just to give you an idea, this has been cooking for 2 hours now. There's still a bit of juice on top, but I'm going to pick the camera up now and show you. Not a lot. It's really quite thick. The meat's broke down quite a lot. Still there, obviously, but yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move this into that pan there. Could stir my cooker. Right, so I've washed the pan out. I'm going to waz the heat right up and add some salt to the water. You can be generous with the salt in the water for the pasta because you want salted water. That's still too high, that on the back. You see it bubbling away. Turn it right down. It's going to be bleeding gorgeous, this, everyone. Right, the water's almost where it needs to be. So it's always with the pasta, I never know how much to sort of do. So I'm just going to grab like a good amount. It doesn't really matter if you do too much because you can always, what's the word? Move this back over. You can always, what's the jig, can't you? Some people spin it and put it in, but I just lie it on the side and just let it go. See that water clouding up? As soon as it clouds, it goes away. How strange. Do my pasta is I always do it. I don't snap it. I used to snap it in half for some reason, but now I don't. I let it wilt and then lay it down in the pan. And the way that I like, I've got a knack for being able to work out when it's ready. I don't need to throw it against a wall. I can just tell off like looking at it. I never usually get it wrong. Watch me crash and burn now. Let's have a look at the sauce, which is still cooking on the back. It's really thick that now. Can you believe how much it's come down? All that flavour. I love a good Bologneise, me. But I don't make it very often because I'm always on a diet. But I'm not on a diet at the moment. I just think it's on it. You know, I often think really if I just ate like normal what I wanted, would I actually lose weight? Probably, because I won't be like wanting something fatty or something sweet. Right, it's been on about 4 minutes now. Let's just have a look. Oh, I think that might be ready. Yeah, that's ready. I can tell. Right, let's let's make preparations to drain it. Yeah, I'm really hungry now. You can't actually see much there, can you? Oh yeah, you can, yeah. All I'm trying to do now, I know the colander's going to get the water off, but you know, like sometimes if you don't do this, the water just gathers onto the pasta, and then when you put it on your plate or your bowl, which we're going to serve it up in a minute, it's still wet. You can see it's drying up pretty quickly. Right, I think we need to get to a serving. I usually like a bowl, but for the purpose of today, we'll use a plate. God, this pasta's dried up really quick. So let's plonk the pasta down. It's a bit dry, that pasta now, with the method that I used. So it's getting a bit stiff, but that's all right. So I think that's enough pasta. And then let's get a spoonful of that pasta sauce. So I've got a ladle full there. I think I want a bit more. A ladle and a half. There you go. And then I think to top it off, we're going to put on some parmesan. I know we've got some in the sauce, so obviously I'm not putting loads on. I think I got this one from Lidl. But I just want a bit on the top. So let me get my parmesan grater. It's pretty dry, this parmesan, actually, because I've had it about a month. But it does last, you know, it's like cheese in it. It's an old dry cheese. So that's enough, I think. Let me just put this away and then we'll have a look at it. So, what are your thoughts, everyone? Let's have a close look at it. Isn't that nice, that? It's meaty with... It's nice, actually, with some red wine in it, but as I said, I wanted to save that to soak, so that's why we haven't. But yeah, I mean, what? The meat was $3.99, that's £4. You'll do at least 4 meals out of this. The pasta already did. It costs about £1.50 to make this. And let me tell you, if I served this up to you in a restaurant, you wouldn't pull your face, because it's spectacular. Anyway, I'm going to go away and eat it. In fact, should we give it a try on camera? Let me just get my thumbnail and then we'll do that. Right, let's give it a go. Let's have a look. And yes, I do know to I do know how to get pasta on swim. Look at that! Even with all that draining, look, they're still ended up with some stuff on the bottom. Just bear with me. Just got a knock on the door, everybody. My tripod's just arrived like 3 hours too late, but that's okay because we'll use it next time. Right. So it's a bit of a mouthful there. Let's just see if we can. Right, let's give it a go. Absolutely bloody spectacular. Honestly, try it. Don't worry about them jars that you can get. Just get a cheap passata for 50p. Your meat, you saw what I did. Give it a go. Give it a few hours to cook. I promise you it'll be the best bolognese you've ever cooked. Unless you can do something better, and if you can, then let me know, because I want the recipe. Alright then, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in tomorrow's video, which is going to be scones. I'll see you then.